bullet journals, art projects, organized planner sheet.
Well, hello planner babes, and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and select the bell for notifications. Well, first, I want to thank all my awesome Patreon members who help make it possible to create videos like this. Well, thank you guys so much. And if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. Okay, you guys, this is the Dollar Tree Traveler's Notebook that we decorated all out on the cover in the last video, and this is part 2 where we're going to start working on the inside. We're actually going to have a part 3, yes, so stay tuned for that. And so first I want to make some clear pockets. Now I'm going to use an extra, or not really extra, I guess one that I've used before, sheet protector. And the first thing that you want to do is cut off this white part. You want to cut along the edge of the white part and right up against what looks sort of like perforated dots that's stitched in there, that's holding it together. Just be careful not to cut across those dots so that you don't accidentally cut it all open. So I did check to make sure I didn't cut it open. And now we're just going to measure how far we want, or how wide we want the clear pocket to be. So I'm just laying it across the space to see, and then I'm going to take my ruler and a Sharpie that I got from Dollar Tree to mark where I want to cut it. And then, so that's for the width of it. And then I'm going to need to do the same thing at the top. So make sure that you line it up where those little non-perforated dots are on the left, and then you're going to mark on the right side where it opens up, and then at the top. And then of course I'm just going to cut this out. Now I was trying to cut it out inside of the marker, but I didn't quite get it a little bit. Oops, sorry, alarm's going off. I apologize, you guys. But I didn't do it well on the right. I cut off all the black at the top. So I just laid it on the table and tried my best to cut all of the excess black that I still had on there from the Sharpie. I always use a Sharpie when I mark on the sheet protector because other things don't seem to stay very well because I guess it's so slippery. Yeah, so then I want this to be a secretarial pocket for the top layer of the pocket, and I just hand drew a little shape there that kind of looks like a secretarial pocket. So if you don't feel comfortable doing that, then if you happen to have a template, you can use that. I'm sure there are a lot of templates online that you can use and just print out and do that, but I just drew it on there, and then I took my scissors and cut around there, and I just had a little tiny piece at the end I was trying to cut off right there and make it look pretty clean. Yeah, and so then we have a clear secretarial pocket. I just had a little space there that I felt wasn't straight, and I'm just straightening it up right there. And then I am ready to put the adhesive on there so that I can put my pocket there on the Traveler's Notebook on the inside. So I am using Dollar Tree permanent double-sided tape, and which I love. If you guys follow my channel, you know this is one of my favorite products from Dollar Tree. It is really good and very strong, and so that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to put it all the way around, which you typically would do on anything that you're adhering with the tape on paper or a surface similar to that. But because this is going inside this Traveler's Notebook and it is not paper, and it kind of, has that, I don't know what you call it. It's basically like a faux leather sort of suede, the inside of a leather cover kind of type of texture. Then I'm going to add some more tape in the center. Now I'll show you that here in just a moment after we take off the little backing off of the tape. And I found it's easier for me to get that backing off without pulling up the tape itself if I just take my fingers and smooth it, put a little bit of pressure across it, and then it's easier to take the tape off. So I didn't think about putting the other layers of tape, or the other pieces of tape until after I had already taken the backing off, so I had to be careful not to stick everything to each other. But yeah, I'm just gonna add that, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I made some clear pockets out of some plastic packaging before that it wasn't it wasn't a sheet protector, but it was a similar material. It was plastic basically, and over time it was starting to come off, and I think that was from repeated use and there not being enough adhesive on the back, because normally when you buy an adhesive pocket at the store, the entire back of it is adhesive. And so I just thought, hey, I should add some more so I don't have to worry about this pocket coming off because of the surface. Because on the other instance as well, when it was starting to come off, it was not a paper surface. It wasn't a smooth surface like paper. So this way it should stay forever. And so now I want to put a pocket on the right side as well. And so I'm just taking the opposite corner of the paper, not the paper, of the sheet protector, and I am making another pocket for the right side. I'm just measuring it using the other pocket to have it about the same width. And then I marked where I want to cut the height of it to be on the right side. And so that's just all I'm doing right here. I just sped it up because it's the same procedures as I did before, except it's a different shape. And I am going to do something different on the top layer since it's not a secretarial pocket. I'm just going to draw just a little curve there. And then that will be the place to slide things in on this pocket. And so I'm just taking my scissors and cutting that little shape off. I got it not quite the way I wanted it at first. It's kind of got a little point there, and so I'm just going to take my scissors, probably pull them up a little bit closer so I can see, yep, and just cut that little extra strip right on off of there. Okay, and now of course I put the permanent double-sided tape like I did on the other ones. I'm just quickly removing those, and then I can put my pocket here on the other side, and I can see to my left where the other pocket started at the bottom, and I'm just lining it up about in the same place. And of course I'm using my bone folder like I did on the front to make sure I have a really good pressure. And so now I'm taking a Dollar Tree greeting card that I shared in a haul recently, and I'm just creating a bookmark. And I cut on one side and I needed to get it a little bit narrower on the other side, and I started to use my, what do you call this, y'all, paper trimmer to cut the other side, but it wasn't enough room to really do that, and it was just gonna wrinkle and jam the paper all up. So I just used a ruler to mark where I wanted to cut the other side. I cut too close on the left also, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Okay, and so I cut that, and now I'm just kind of estimating about the center. I could have measured it, and then I'm going to take my Dollar Tree hole punch and punch a hole there at the top. And now I've got some embroidery thread, and I don't remember where I got this specific set of embroidery thread. It might have been Dollar Tree a long time ago, but I feel like it was a 99-cent store. And so now I'm taking a greeting card a friend gave me, and I'm just wrapping that around it. Oh, I did want to let you guys know, I realize my camera is autofocusing a lot in this video. I'm not exactly sure why, but I think it's probably because there's just a lot of things reflecting the light. The sheet protector, the dashboards, some of the print and glitter on the cards, and it's just struggling. And usually I would edit a lot of that out, but it was going to just be so choppy this time that you wouldn't really be able to tell what I was doing enough. So I didn't do as much as I would have. And so here, I guess you guys could see, hopefully while I was talking, what I was doing here. I took the embroidery thread, I wrapped it around the card, I cut the end, I tried to arrange it where I got to about the center and folded that in half. Then I took what I folded and tucked it in the hole, left a loop, and then I'm supposed to bring the bottom of them through, but I had to straighten it out there for a little bit because one of the loops got kind of caught up in there, and I had to smooth out all of the threads so that I could make it look all nice and neat and not crazy. And so now I'm just, straightening it all out. I'll make it easier when I get ready to trim it. And of course, this bookmark is way taller than I need it to be, so I'm going to have to cut more of the embroidery thread. I think I'm going to cut it twice eventually at the top, and then I'm going to have to cut a lot of my little gift there at the bottom, but that's okay. It's going to be adorable. So now I'm just going to cut the excess of my embroidery thread. I used a lot more than I thought I needed. And then I'm just measuring about where I need to cut the bottom so that this bookmark will fit in the pocket. And also, if you notice, or if you think about it, with those strips, those extra strips from the permanent double-sided tape in there that you can see in the back, no one's going to see it when your stuff is all tucked in there, so you don't have to worry about that at all. So yeah, see, I'm going to trim this one more time because I felt like it was just way too tall, this little tassel, if you will, and then we're just going to stick that right back in there, yeah, and get ready to add some more stuff. But first, I want to tell you guys about the sponsor for today's video, which is Emerging Green. They're this awesome company that was kind enough to send me these wonderful garden clogs, which is what this series is all about, is spring, and they are the sponsor for the entire series. I love these so much. They're nice and green and comfortable, and I wear them when I work out in the front patio or the back patio to do gardening. They are so adorable, and Emerging Green also sent me previously some eco-friendly spirals, which I shared. So I'm going to put across the screen for you guys how you guys can get these with an extra discount. So be sure and check them out. Okay, so now we're going to add something behind the bookmark in the clear pocket. And so I'm just taking another Dollar Tree greeting card from my previous haul, and I'm just going to cut that to fit inside the pocket. So I need to check the width here. Eventually I'm going to wind up having to cut it some more. So when you do this, you can make it wider than the pocket because there is enough room, but not much wider, because you still need to be able to fold or close all the other stuff that's around the elastic in the Traveler's Notebook. So here I'm just cutting the extra from realizing it was too wide. And it's so cute and pretty and green. I just love this print so much. So it fits in there now, and I just felt like it would look so much cleaner and neater if I rounded the corners. So I'm just going to take my pointer rounder and do that. And I think it will just look a lot more professional. You guys, tell me in the comments below, have you started doing any spring DIYs, either for your planners or for your home? Let me know in the comments below. I started with my wreaths. I've done one wreath and I'm finishing another one today. Okay, so now I'm adding another little bit because I wanted to bring in some of the pink and orange that's in this dashboard here on the right that I made previously out off camera. And so I thought, I need to bring some of those colors in so that the pockets and the dashboard kind of work together. So I have this heart that I'm cutting out of another Dollar Tree greeting card, and then I'm just using my Dollar Tree teeny tiny scissors to cut the small space right there in the middle to finish my heart. And I think that heart is so beautiful, and it's very shiny. Yeah, and so yeah, we'll just tuck that in there, and now we're bringing in some of the colors, but I still feel like I have the pink out of there now. That's going with the right side, the dashboard. I feel like I need a little bit of orange to just kind of tie everything in, but I didn't feel like I needed to put it in the pocket because that would just kind of overdo it. So I'm cutting out this gift from the greeting card, one of the greeting cards, and I'm just going to wind up taping that onto the dashboard, and then I just feel like it will all work together. We've got the little bit of green at the top with the bow for the gift, and then we've got the orange and black, and there's black on the other side. And so I'm not going to use any clear tape because clear tape is hard to get off once you really lay it down. Instead, I'm going to use masking tape, and so I'm just going to fold I think 3 pieces, 3 little strips of the masking tape. I think that's easier than having one long strip that you fold because it just gets all wonky. And so I'm going to do 3. And then just a little tip for you, if you use masking tape for something like this and when you close it or when you tape it down, the tape kind of spills over to the sides, then you want to just kind of fold it a little bit. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just folding the end in a little bit and taping it down, and that way I won't have that problem. Yeah, so now I'm just taping it on there, and I'll use my bone folder to rub it in really well. And I feel like this part of the Traveler's Notebook looks really good. Yeah, I love my bone folder, you guys, if you didn't know. If you don't follow my channel normally and you're new, welcome. But also, I love a bone folder. I don't know why, but I love the experience of just rubbing it on stuff. I think it's therapeutic. So here I'm using another Dollar Tree greeting card, which I just think is adorable. I know it's not necessarily spring in theme, but who doesn't love a good unicorn? They're magical, right? So I'm just marked around it, and I'm just trimming the top, and I left the tail sticking out because I just felt like that was key to a unicorn. Of course the horn is, but the tail is too, right? It needs to look like a horse. And so yeah, and even though I've got that piece sticking out, I just tucked it right under the inserts, and I think it perfectly works. So I'm using my corner rounder to just round it a little bit, and then one of the corners I couldn't round as well because the tail was in the way, so I'm just going to use my scissors, my tiny Dollar Tree scissors, to round that up. And then it looks perfect, and it's got a rainbow too, y'all. Hey! So there's my little unicorn. All right, so then I also wanted to add some color on the inserts from Dollar Tree. This whole thing is from Dollar Tree. The Traveler's Notebook before I decked it out in the previous video, and the inserts and the elastic are all from Dollar Tree. One thing for $1. Isn't that impressive? For $1, yes. And so now I'm just taking some craft paper that I already had, and I am gluing the cover on it to have some colorful inserts. And then I just glued the front side, and then can't talk. And then I just folded it over to make sure that I have a good cover, that I don't wind up having the paper being short. And now I'm putting glue on the other side just with a glue stick and folding that down. Yeah, and then I'm just going to take my bone folder and rub it in. I rubbed it in on the bone folder on the inside, and this time when I flipped it, I rubbed it on the outside. And now I'm just marking where I want to cut, because I'm going to fold in the left and the right side just to have it look clean on the outside. In another video, we're going to do something, or in the next video, we're going to do something on the inside of that craft paper that you see here that's brown. Yeah, and so now I'm just marking the straight across from where the current cover, or the brown cover, is across the cover that I'm gluing to it, so that it comes out straight, and then we'll wrap that around. So yeah, we're just gonna cut it out, and then we'll wrap it around. I don't know why I get so goofy sometimes, y'all. I think I just enjoy myself, and I enjoy talking to you guys about planning. When I'm at home by myself, my son and I were talking about this, I dance around and, I don't know, laugh at myself and do little weird things. And I was like, yeah. And I remember when my daughter was growing up, she would do that, and someone said something, I was like, I don't know where she gets that from. And I really didn't. And they were like, oh, she probably gets it from her mama. And I was like, no, I don't know where she gets that from. And then like a few days later, I was doing all that at home by myself, and I was like, oh my goodness, she does get that from me. So yeah, but you gotta enjoy yourself, because hey, especially during these times with the pandemic, I'm sure we've all spent plenty of time by ourselves. Okay, so now I have decorated that cover, and you guys saw me while I was talking, just folding it over using the glue stick. It's better to put glue on both sides a little bit if you can. And then I did two, so here is what the craft paper looks like on the second one. And then this is it, you guys. This is the whole inside, except for what we're gonna do in the next video. Yeah. So yep, we got our bookmark right there, which I think is lovely. It was really easy to do, you guys. Greeting card was 50 cents from Dollar Tree. The hole punch was $1 from Dollar Tree. The embroidery thread was $1 from, I think, the 99-cent store. This greeting card that I'm tucking in there right now was 50 cents from Dollar Tree, and it's such a lovely print, and that is such a wonderful sentiment that every day is a gift, or each and every day is a gift. Yeah, and this greeting card was also 50 cents from Dollar Tree that I cut out the heart. And of course the gift was in the same card as the bookmark, and so there's like 4 or 5 pictures in there, so I've got a bunch of things for the price of one, right? Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making everything that you see. I really appreciate your support. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Please subscribe. Everyone, welcome. New or old, comment, like, and share. It really helps my channel a lot. Also, I am on Instagram at Organized Planner Chic, where I post all of my creative ventures and adventures. I have 2 Facebook groups. The one for anyone around the world is called Organized Planner Chic Crew, and there we do giveaways and try to stay in touch just about every day with all different types of posts. The local group is called Phoenix Planner Friends for Christ, and there we meet in person once a month, and we've scheduled the next one. Yay! We had to wait a while because of COVID. We didn't get to see each other all in person, but now we're going to be outside in the beautiful weather in a covered area and enjoying each other and doing lots of arts and crafts and planning fun. And then if you are interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. And until next time, everyone, happy planning!